with Star Wars heralding a cinematic revolution, Disney thought they'd jump on the bandwagon themselves by producing a highly ambitious sci-fi movie which was released in Christmas 1979. What we got was a mixture of sci-fi, fantasy, great visual effects, cute robots for the kids, shocking body horror, and an ending that only makes sense if you're dosed up on LSD. And out of that bold mess came one of the scariest robots ever put to film, Maximilian. Why go for the scary ones? Why not try your hand at the two cute robots instead?
Oh, you mean Vincent and Bob?
Yeah, those ones. Okay, we try and do things at minifig scale here, and although LEGO have produced an increasing number of curved and round pieces over the decades, I don't think we're quite there yet to reproduce little floating robot balls. Well, that's where you're wrong. You're gonna make a small robot, McCluck? Let's get building. So, LEGO have a roundish part that would work well for one of those robots' bodies. A 2x2 sphere.
Oh, you mean the part that was initially created for BB-8?
Yeah, but it's since become available without prints in multiple other colors. It's a genuine part we can use for this.
So that's pretty much the whole robot with a single part.
Come on, Gigi, what kind of chicken do you take me for? It's a little more involved than that. There's Vincent's little red face for one, and I'd use a 1x1 round plate for that in that color, and put a grey 1x1 round tile on top of that to finish off the look. Now for the bottom bit, he's got two black stabilizers and I couldn't see how I could recreate that, so I've just added a black 1x1 round plate with a hole in its stud instead. I mean, it does give a vague sense of what Vincent looks like, but how are you going to make him float? Easy! Thanks to that tiny holy plate, and the fact that the inside of the sphere is hollow, I can connect a transparent 4L bar to it.
4L is quite a lot. Wouldn't a 3L bar be better?
It would, except LEGO have never produced that part in trans clear. What? You're right. That's nuts. Tell me about it. And to support that bar, I'd use an inverted 2x2 radar dish. Now, for Bob, as he's more run down, I'd use dark red for his face, and dark bluish grey for his little top, but the rest would be the same. So, what do you think? It's not a bad idea, and I like the fact that the sphere is hollow all the way through, so the 4L bar can be deeper into it, so each robot can float at a different level. But come on, the star of the show was the big bad, and I'm sure our audience is here to see how we build Maximilian. Over to you then. I'm sure there are people out there who appreciated my contribution regardless. Okay, well, as Maximilian also has some kind of anti-gravity tech, we'll start with some transparent pieces in the shape of two 1x1 round tiles with a bar. Seems every robot you create involves some of those pieces. Except this time, I'm solely using them for support. Now, attached to those bars is a special piece, a 1x1 round plate with a bar handle.
Oh, what a weird-looking piece.
It's been around for a while, since 2016 in fact, but it's only been used in 79 sets to date, and only in 3 colors: black, light grey, and trans clear. Dark red would have been better, but we'll make black work. Actually, I need to bring up an issue with this particular model. We have a color situation. Like we had for Dewey, Huey, and Louie? Not exactly. With those guys, the parts we needed just weren't available in the colors we were after. Here, we need a bunch of mechanical claw pieces, and they are indeed available in dark red, which is Maximilian's color.
So that's great news then, right? What's the issue?
The issue is that those pieces in dark red are incredibly rare. They only came in 2 sets for the Galaxy Squad theme. That's over a decade ago! And to make things worse, those parts are super expensive, and we'd need 8 of them. So you've either found a stash of credits you've been keeping from us, or I opted for an alternative. Reddish brown. Those parts are cheap and plentiful in that color. So if you want to recreate this Maximilian for yourself and have an understanding bank manager, by all means, get those pieces in dark red.
Otherwise, follow our more sensible example.
So, let's clip on one of these claw pieces to each of those black plates with bar handles, and then get a couple more to attach horizontally to those vertical ones.
Interesting start.
Well, you were puzzled when I started the silent running robots in the middle, so I thought I'd build this one from the ground up like all the others.
Thank you, Captain.
As we continue, we're attaching a bar holder with handle to those claw pieces and a 1x2 plate with horizontal clip to those. To secure that construct,
We'll put a round 2x2 plate under those and finish off the bottom with a rounded 2x2 plate.
Those pieces ain't going anywhere.
That's the point. The build is pretty sturdy, so we can now focus on the rest of the torso. We start with another 2x2 round plate, and then add a bunch of inverted 1x2 sloped bricks.
Couldn't you have used a couple of inverted 2x2 slope bricks instead?
Oh, absolutely, and they're available in dark red too, which is great. But I had the other ones in my inventory, so I used them instead. Either would work though. Next, to add a little grip rig to this mechanical monster, I'm using a 1x2 bracket piece for the front, with a 1x2 plate at the back, and a couple of quarter circle tiles for the chest.
I'm sure that'll help differentiate between Maximilian's front and back sides.
Ha! There is that. So we finish off that area with a 2x2 jumper plate, and next we're adding the shoulders. These are done with grilled 1x2 sloped pieces.
Why grilled? Why not use 1x2 slope pieces that aren't grilled?
Those are relatively new pieces, and I agree they would be better, but they don't yet exist in dark red, so grilled pieces it is. Now, adding Maximilian's arms is done by first connecting 1x1 round plates with a hole in the stud under all of those sloped pieces. This allows us to attach 4 more of those claw pieces to our model.
I was wondering how that was gonna work.
Followed by bar holders with handles.
It's unusual for you to use the same parts for the legs and the arms.
True, but I thought it worked pretty well on this occasion. Now, for the hands, I thought I'd use those claw pieces for a couple of the arms, but this time in grey. Meanwhile, in order to reproduce that gruesome scene from the movie,
Poor Anthony.
I thought I'd use that grappling hook piece.
That was supposed to be a kid's movie.
The late 70s and 80s was a different era, McCluck.
Damn, you're telling me.
And for the last one, why not jazz it up a little and give Max a different implement?
A whisk?
That is a demon in the kitchen.
This is just to show that you can conceivably add any kind of implement to his arms if you so wish. And to cap it all off, we need a head, something round and imposing.
Shame there are no prints that would bring this robot more to life.
Yeah, shame. This part is actually used for a lot of Star Wars droids, and many come printed, but none come in dark red. Still, Maximilian looks pretty imposing as is, don't you think?
He's a big floating robot who demands obedience and doesn't like it if you ask too many questions.
I'd say it's hilarious that you recreated that gruesome scene only with yourself instead of Anthony. But it's still pretty gruesome.
You would have never survived the 70s, GG.
Guess not. I prefer gentler times.
And when was that exactly?
Good point.
And with that, we've added another minifig scaled robot to our collection. What do you think of it and the movie it came from? Did you ever get a chance to see it? Whatever your thoughts, let us know. And if you like what we do,
and how we do it,
and you feel you'd like to help us out, please consider joining our Patreon.
As long as you can afford it, of course.
The link's in the description and pinned comment.
And we'll speak to you again
next time on the Year of the Robot.
Anything? Trianguleron.